We've reached the final hour of the week on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'll get to your calls momentarily. We also have this ridiculous video, and I'll have it up on the Super Talk television side of things, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. As long as Jackson's doing his job in there, we'll have this up. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble if you're watching. We've got that coming up in just a moment. But it's the final hour of our week. And we appreciate you being here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Lots to do. We have some myths about the alleged shooter in the situation, in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We're going to get to those. And my goodness gracious, it just saying it hurts my heart. But Erica Kirk, Charlie's wife, is going to address the nation, the world. She's going to talk to those interested about her husband and his assassination. That's later on tonight. But first, a couple of rumors that are going on, and I've written these down. I put them on the note feature of my phone. Debunk some of the myths that liberals are trying to present about the alleged suspect in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, a man by the name, and I'm not going to say this name very often, but his name is Tyler Robinson. Robinson was a registered Republican. Robinson was not a registered Republican. He did not declare a political party when he registered to vote. Number two, he donated to Donald Trump's campaign. That's going around. No, he did not. Screenshot of this donation refers to a different person of the same name. It was not 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. Number three, reports are that he dressed up as Trump for Halloween, which is support that he liked Donald Trump. He did dress up in a way in 2017. There's a photo showing him dressed as Trump, but it's obvious that the photo is designed to mock Trump. It's him riding Donald Trump, President of the United States. That was from 2017. He is not a part of any political affiliation that is pro-Trump whatsoever. And finally, Robinson has not been wearing a pro-Trump T-shirt. That photo is digitally altered. So just at this point, it's obviously intentional that this is misinformation going around the interweb, and we just want to debunk some of that information. Now, Charlie Kirk's beloved wife, Erica Kirk, is addressing the country tonight at about 7:15 Central Time, Middle Tennessee time. Her remarks will be streamed live on all Turning Point USA platforms and on all of Charlie Kirk's social media platforms. This is a media advisory that I received in my inbox from Turning Point USA a little while ago, and it reads as follows. Erica Kirk to make her first public address. Ms. Kirk's live remarks will be live tonight, September 12th, 8:15 Eastern Time, 7:15 Central Time, streaming on Charlie Kirk and TPUSA's social media platforms. The widow of the Turning Point USA founder and CEO, Charlie Kirk, will deliver live remarks to the media, her first public address. It will be a public statement to the press following the suspect's arrest. The live stream, once again, will launch at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, with remarks beginning approximately at 7:15 Central Standard Time. Any photo credit, press should credit Turning Point USA and refer to her as Ms. Erica Kirk. So that's all we have on that, but that is happening a little bit later on tonight. I have a video that I want to present to you from Representative Justin Pearson's appearance on MSNBC. Before we do that, I want to get to your calls because many of you have been holding for a long time, and I appreciate the patience that you have on the phone lines. Donnie is next up. Donnie, thank you for your call.
Hey, Matt. I'll tell you what, I was kept well entertained while I was on hold.
I'm glad.
I enjoyed listening to your last guest, Jay. I was actually on the field, too. That was my senior year at UT when we beat Florida there in overtime. So that was neat to hear.
Oh, wow.
Hear his story.
Well, isn't that cool? So I love stuff like this, and I don't mean to hijack your call, but I love this. So, I mean, just imagine you then in 98 and imagine you listening to Jay now and know that y'all were on the field together. I mean, that's just kind of cool.
It is crazy. Hey, listen, there's been a lot of talk about, and people have, some liberals on Twitter have been complaining about, I guess what you're calling it right-wing cancel culture now because of all the number of people from all different employment areas. I mean, you have teachers, you have college deans or assistant deans, you have metro emergency workers. There was a famous barbecue place in Cincinnati. The owners who had a contract with the soccer team there to sell concessions at their stadium that have all been canceled or fired or had contracts canceled due to their just really horrible remarks here in light of or in respect to Charlie Kirk's death or his murder rather. And somebody brought up a good point. I think it was Stephen Miller when it was a liberal New York Times columnist complaining about it, and he said, you know what, this is our riots in the street. And I thought that was great. And by the way, I enjoyed Matt Hurt too. I did tag you and him on Twitter. I go by the Twitter handle Nashville Traffic. It's Nash_the Traffic. I wanted to highlight somebody else who said something, and it's a gentleman who said in a social media post that somebody should bail Charlie's assassin out of jail, that he's a hero. And that gentleman is named Pat Pointer, and he's head of sales for commercial sales at Mercedes-Benz in Nashville here in Franklin.
Jeez.
And so if everybody go to Matt's Twitter page, I think it's in reply to one of Matt Hurt's tweets saying that he'd be on your show, and I would really appreciate a retweet of that. I'm trying to get that out. I've tagged libs of TikTok in it. I've tagged Marsha Blackburn, Clay Travis, and haven't got any bites yet. And I'm hoping somebody there can get that message going. And
you are you said you are at Nash Traffic?
Yes. There's a couple of Nashville Traffic accounts.
But
at Nash_the Traffic, and that's with a capital T and a capital T.
Okay. I'm looking for you now. Nash_the Traffic?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I got you. Oh, yeah, you follow me, and I'm now following you there, Nash Traffic. You're my 1,000th. That means I have to cancel somebody because I always want to keep it below 1,000. But that said...
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's cancel the guy who's head of commercial sales at Mercedes-Benz Nashville, Pat Pointer, who called Charlie Kirk's assassin a hero.
Yeah, we can't that's ridiculous. And look, I am not here to get anyone fired. What I am here to do is to identify the type of human beings that certain employers have in their employ. And it is up to those employers, and I think you agree too, Donnie. I mean, it's up to those employers to decide for themselves if these are the types of individuals that they want representing their companies. That's it. That's all.
Right. We're just here to highlight it. That's it. That's all I ask is that my post gets highlighted. I'm not saying to fire anybody.
I like your by the way, I like your bio. Can I read your bio, Donnie?
Sure thing.
Donnie's bio says he's at Nash_the Traffic. It says, get off your phone, stop doing your makeup, don't block intersections, use your turn signal. The left lane is for passing. Be a decent human being. Amen, brother.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Have a good night.
Thank you very much for highlighting this. Listen, I do not believe that times of crisis and times of tragedy, I do not believe that it creates character. I think it reveals character or a lack thereof. And you know what? I didn't set up these rules. I've never talked that much about cancel culture because I think we're all responsible for our own actions. And if your actions lead to individuals look, the bottom line is this, that if I do a radio show every day and I'm not for you, then you turn off the radio and you let my employers know. You can even let the folks that sponsor the show know that you're not listening. You don't like me, right? That's one thing, to let my employers know that you don't appreciate what I'm doing. But to go the next level and say, not only do I not like you, I don't want you to be a part of this radio station any longer, so I'm going to do what I need to do to try to go after your advertisers in a way that make them nervous about what they're doing. That's a different animal. Secondarily, We're talking about opinions versus actions. We're talking about having a position on an issue like Charlie had on so many different issues, like Matt Murphy has on so many different issues, versus supporting someone who took a life. That's different. That's different. And if you want to reveal your character or your lack of character to the world, then you should expect the consequences of those revelations. And I don't shy away from that at all. Not at all. You leftists that just loved the idea of cancel culture 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, you reap what you sow. And I hope you enjoy it. Y'all might, I would like for you to rethink the way that your mind works. I don't pretend that that will happen. At very least, maybe it's time for you to rethink what you're willing to say out loud in public when you're talking about people's lives. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's irresponsible. And it might just get you fired. Steve is next up. Steve, thank you for the call.
You're welcome. Talking about alleged and suspected or person of interest, those all are similar in nature, and they're usually used prior to an arrest.
No, they're used after an arrest too, buddy. I've been doing this 26 years.
By you guys, but I think that the accused, arrested, and charged would be more accurate and kind of tell the story more of what's going on rather than those other ones that I think should be used prior to the arrest. After the arrest, it should be accused, arrested, or charged. That's just me.
Well,
that's how.
Why is it bothering you so much?
Because to me, it suspected. You can be charged and found innocent.
Do you know? Let me work through this then. Do you know for a 100% fact that this person shot and killed Charlie Kirk?
I do know that he is reported to have claimed that yes, he did it.
He has
been charged.
So a media out. So you didn't answer the question. That's okay. I'm not defending this scumbag. I'm not defending this scumbag, and I think he's a scumbag, whatever. But I do defend our basic concept of law and order, and I do defend that. I recognize that in media circles that we bear a certain level of responsibility, not convicting in the public arena an individual that is yet to face a jury of his peers per the Constitution of the United States and our system of justice.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but I think that if the person, once they're charged, forego the alleged and suspected, go with this individual is charged. He's been accused. He's been arrested.
How do you want me to, Steve? How do you want me to say it then? I mean, how do you want me to say it?
I just gave you an example.
Tell me specifically to Tyler Robbins. Tyler, how do you want me to say it? You want me to call him the shooter?
No.
Then what do you want me to say?
Because I think that for example, Tyler Roberts has been charged with the crime of, or he's been accused of the murder of.
Yeah, the alleged guy. The word alleged is that he's been charged. That the charge is the allegation.
To me, it just seems like it would be more. It'd tell the story better if you use the phrase arrested or charged or accused.
Steve, a charge. Steve, listen to me. A charge is an allegation.
I understand that. I'm not saying that these words are all very similar, but I think that the first three words that I've mentioned are implying more that he may not have done it. You could be
nobody who's saying. I'm not saying that. And if you're hearing that the reason that I'm bristling about this, and Steve, I'm sorry, because I've gotten a number of people that are coming at me because we're using the word alleged. And I don't understand what y'all don't understand about our system of justice and how we report things, how we've always reported things.
Well, I've always been upset with that. Once the charges have been made, You need to go with charges and arrested rather than alleged, because if they all are similar, then use the ones that are more accurate. And I think being arrested or charged or accused of it is more accurate than just a suspect, because they talked to a number of people of interest which were suspects, but they were found to have not been a part of it. So therefore,
I'm baffled how what I'm saying is not. I don't understand what you're asking. I genuinely don't. So
well,
if I talk about the suspect in the case, I'm talking about the suspect in the case. But when I say the shooter or the assassin, well, the charge is the allegation.
Okay.
So I don't understand. I don't understand why we have issue with saying the alleged assassin.
What's wrong with saying the accused or the charged?
No. The question is, what's wrong with saying the alleged assassin?
Because I think it doesn't tell the whole story.
How so? He has not, Steve, he's yet to be convicted in a court of law by a jury of his peers.
I understand that, but has he been
There is a
charged?
presumption of innocence in the United States of America.
I understand that. I'm not arguing that. But has he been charged? Yes. If he's been charged, you should go with that rather than just saying the suspect.
Well, tell me,
alleged.
when I talk about the assassin of Charlie Kirk, what adjective do you want me to use? Suspected?
I would like you to, to say in there that he has been charged, because that tells us a little bit more about the story.
So formulate the sentence that works for you, Steve. So if I say the shooter in the case, and I have to have an adjective there because he's not a convicted shooter. He's not been convicted yet. So to be responsible in terms of reporting this news, and to, in the spirit of the rule of law, because we don't deal in the rule of the mob. We're not going to hang somebody because we believe that they did it. They go through a court process.
I understand that, and I fully agree. But I do think you're not telling the whole story when you don't say that he's been charged with the crime.
I don't know how we can be.
A number of people. They talked to people that were people of interest and suspected of being a part of it, and they were found not to have been a part of it. So they were suspects. Well, you're saying he's a suspect. Well, that puts him in the same category.
He is in the same category, Steve.
No, because the other ones were arrested. Were not arrested. He was arrested.
The alleged shooter has been arrested and has been charged.
That's more helpful. So that's all I had.
I mean, I'm sorry, Steve. I don't mean to be nasty. I don't mean to end the week this way. Love you, Steve. Thank you for listening. I've just gotten a bunch of this over the last 2 hours, and I don't get it. I don't get what you're. I mean, I understand you're mad. I feel like this is an emotional outpouring because we're so mad about the death of Charlie Kirk. We're angry at whoever is responsible for this, and I get that. I get that feeling. What in the world? And I just don't understand why we're picking these nits right now. But, thank you, Steve. I'm sorry if I was nasty. I'm a little short, and that's on me, and I apologize. But, my goodness. 26 after the hour on Super Talk. All right, I don't know if I'll get to this I don't know if I'll get to this video. Maybe I should try. Can you give me a little PIP, picture in picture there? I want to try to see if I can get to a little bit of this video. This is Justin Pearson acting like a complete idiot on MSNBC.
Pearson, your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, look, we do not want to see our community being occupied by the military, and we don't want to see over-policing. The solution to the problems that are being articulated is not to increase the number of police, it's to increase the number of resources to actually reduce poverty, to actually educate our population.
All right, so I'm just going to pause him there. You hear what he just said? He said the solution to the crime problems in Memphis is not to increase the numbers of police or go over policing. It's to increase resources to reduce poverty. So his suggestion is if these folks had more money, they wouldn't steal money or items or food or I don't know what they're stealing or murder people or rape people. You hear what this guy's saying here?
Poverty, to actually educate our population, our children, for the opportunities of the future, and is to make sure that people have a living wage so that some of the crimes that they commit literally for the need to survive do not happen.
Okay, so the murders and the rapes and the other violent crimes that are happening in Memphis, people are doing those just because they need to survive, according to Representative Justin Pearson, which is a total and complete lie, but whatever.
No, that gun violence is one of the most significant issues and epidemics in our country. I got expelled because of it, right? Children under 18 are most likely to die from a bullet than cancer or car accidents. That means laws have to change at the state level. That Governor Bill Lee, Speaker Sexton, Lieutenant Governor Rand McNally need to work on to reduce the amount of access people have to firearms, and that reduces ultimately the amount of crimes that get committed.
Okay, so his suggestion is that if he was right, if Justin Pearson was correct, that there is a direct correlation between the number of firearms and deaths by firearms, then why do we not see the same level of violent crime in the in the rural areas as opposed to in Memphis or maybe in Nashville, Tennessee? I mean, per capita, the rate of firearm death, the rate of violent crime is way, way down in the rural areas. Why? Why is that? Leadership? Population density? It's not because of availability of guns, I can tell you that.
But you can't pass laws that say, hey, it's okay for you to have guns in your car, and then you complain about people breaking into cars for the firearms that they find there.
Sir, we're not passing any laws saying that it's okay to have guns in your car. That law is called the Second Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America, and your automobile is considered your personal property. And no, I would not recommend that people leave guns in their cars because those guns get stolen quite often.
We have to deal with the systemic root causes of the problems, and black communities should not be the place and the pawns for an authoritarian, wannabe dictator, white supremacist gain. And that's
okay. So you're still using that language after a man was assassinated earlier this week. So you're cool with that, dehumanizing our president of the United States of America and his legal authority to work with the governor of this state, Bill Lee, to reduce crime in Memphis. You're arguing against reducing crime, friend. You're arguing against protecting law-abiding citizens in your own district.
That's what we're finding right now with Donald Trump and Bill Lee. And so our resistance has to be vocal, it has to be clear, it has to be coordinated, and it has to show people that we are serious about defending our democracy. These are not benign acts. They are all intentional in an effort to let us be lulled to sleep as our country moves from a democracy into an authoritarian dictatorship.
Okay, an election happened last year. What are you talking about? How exactly are we moving to an authoritarian dictatorship? Would someone ask Justin? I've invited him on the show repeatedly. He refuses to come on the show. Would someone ask him this? I don't understand how is that happening? Why? Because the governor has the authority to move the National Guard into areas where there's an emergency crime situation? Is that what you're talking about? Because the governor's always had that authority, man. Do you not understand the rules of the road here?
He cares only about his power, keeping it at all costs, and running through any community and hurting all the people as he does it. In D.C., they brought the National Guard, but you know also who came? ICE. We are going to see this repeating.
But yeah, ICE, yes, of course. We're trying to root out those that are not legally in the United States of America. That's called following the law.
Over and over again, the terrorism of our communities, and we have to stand united, and we have to fight back against it. But if we
so he's calling law and order. He just called ICE terrorists. He's using the same type of language. This is the type of language that inspires crazy people to assassinate people. Justin
we
Pearson.
do not deal with root causes of poverty, we will never solve the issues that ultimately lead to criminality. And if we do not deal with state houses that refuse to pass laws because the National Rifle Association, the Tennessee Firearms Association, and all the other ones have a hold on Governor Bill Lee, have a hold on all of these other elected officials like Cameron Sexton, if we do not deal with those root causes in our legislatures, we're going to see the proliferation and the perpetuation of gun violence in the ways that we have as well.
Gun violence is down in Washington, D.C. since Donald Trump took over. I don't know if my buddy here knows that or not. Let's get him out of here. Hey, get him out of here. I don't need him anymore. What a load. 40 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Who's held the longest? Has it been? I know it's Robert. Tracy's right behind. Hey, Robert, how are you?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say thank you, Matt Murphy, because your call that you took from that guy Nicholas the other day, that was one of the most beautiful moments I've seen on the air with your show.
Well, thank you, sir. I think about Nicholas. I hope he's still listening, and I hope he still hears what I had to say to him. I mean, I am Charlie Kirk. He is Charlie Kirk. Yeah.
You're Charlie Kirk now?
Yes, that's right.
Beautiful.
That's right.
Well, one of the things I want to say as far as things that people can do, that are good things they can do, is, first of all, we know Charlie Kirk is not going to be the last one to boldly go where few have gone before on the topic. And I think when these people get up to do the same thing Charlie did, people need to go to these events. They need to be peaceful, and they need to pull their cameras. If they're going to have their camera phones on them, pull them out, start recording the area, because if something else happens, then who knows? They might actually catch someone before they do something stupid, because, you know, that's one of the nice things about the digital age is we actually have the means to catch these people before they do something. So it's like, don't just sit there filming what's going on, but rotate around, check out the whole area, see if you can spot something ahead of time. In other words, be vigilant with your camera, not with physical. And then it was a really sad thing. I've got family and friends out in Utah that I had to call and check on to make sure they were okay. So, and I used to work for Utah Transit Authority out there before I moved back to Tennessee, and I used to drive one of the buses in and out of the UVU there a lot. So I know the area well.
Mm-hmm.
That was just kind of surprising to see somewhere I used to walk around something like that happen like that. But I just encourage people to continue going to these people's events and pulling that camera out and, try to cover blind spots. I'm not going to recommend anyone do anything about it other than film it and let someone of authority know if they see something, you see something, you spot something, say something. Get near, find authority and let them know, hey, here's my camera.
That's right. I mean, you've got to be vigilant, and you've got to make sure that. And frankly, I would go a step further, Robert. And thank you for the call this afternoon. That in places, well, let's put it this way: I've never seen a gun-free zone. I've heard about them, but I've never seen one in person. I know that there are some areas that prohibit me from keeping and bearing arms and protecting myself and acting as the first responder. I don't go to many of those places. I will continue to do what is necessary to protect myself and to make sure that I am vigilant and ready in the event that we find ourselves in a negative circumstance. And I encourage everyone else to do that too. Everyone. We need more guns in society. Good guys with guns. Is that such a outlandish statement? I don't know. I just saw the corner of my eye. I got a Justin on the YouTube chat that's saying that Justin Pearson gives Justins a bad name. Justin Jones too. A lot of Justin. I mean, there's not a lot of good Jacksons out there either. Justins, Jacksons, hard to find. Hard to find. I'm going to get to as many as I can, and then I'm going to talk to Jackson about his game predict. Are we betting something on this game, by the way?
You set the terms.
What do you want to do?
I'm down for pretty much anything.
I mean, opposing team gear seems the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, I'll wear a Georgia hat on Monday if they win. You'll wear a
Okay.
Tennessee one.
All right. And that's fair enough. A little public embarrassment on the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Tracy is next. Hello, Tracy. Thank you for waiting.
Hey, thank you.
Yes,
I don't want to get off on a quick tangent. I want to talk about Charlie, but in regard to that audio play that you just had, the audio, I guess that's the mayor of Memphis. Is that correct?
So a General Assembly representative from Memphis.
Okay, well, let's just say it like it is. He brought up the word poverty and blacks. I didn't, so I'm going to bring it up. He said poverty in the black community is the reason for the violence. No, that is not the reason for the violence. If you go back into the 80s and the 70s and the 60s and the 50s, the black communities were way more impoverished, and they didn't have the crime. He doesn't want to talk about the real issue, and the issue is families not having father figures.
Amen, brother. Amen.
That's the problem, but they don't want to say it. They want to come up with all these other excuses that are lies. But I'm telling you, I'm an older guy, and this is spreading to the white community too. If you don't have a father in the home for your children, there's no guarantee they're going to come out right. And you can look at this shooter that killed Charlie, but you damn well sure improve the chances of your child becoming the salt of the earth. Now then, I want to get on to talking about Charlie. I don't have feelings anymore, so if I stepped on some toes, then that's just tough. My feelings are shot. I have now lost my faith in America. When I first heard about this, I worked in manufacturing on night shift, and I try to turn to music for solace. And for whatever reason, I haven't heard this song in a long time, but a song came to mind, and it was the song by, I think it was Dion DiMucci. I may have butchered his last name. It's called Abraham, Martin, and John. And my mind and heart wanted me to add Charlie to that. It talks about how the good, they die young. And then it made me realize, in regard to hate, if we had social media back in the day of when Martin Luther King Jr. was shot and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Was shot and Bobby Kennedy was shot, you would have had the same kind of hate. It's just it couldn't reach as many people. The hate was there. And it's made me realize we have made no progress since then. Since the time Martin Luther King Jr. was killed, we've made no progress as a country. And then it got me thinking a step further as a species. When you go back thousands of years, as a species, we have made no progress. We are the only species that has ever lived on this planet that is killed because of jealousy and anger and greed. And all this does is this brings Charlie's death, for me, it just brings the real issue to the surface. And it's devastating to feel ashamed of your kind and your species. We have made no progress in this country. I thought we had.
You don't think wait, hold on. I'm time limited, Tracy.
Technology.
Tracy, I'm time limited. I'm very time limited in the conversation. I'm almost out of time. You don't think I'm just trying to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. You don't think we've made any progress in America since 1968?
Not in regard to hate, no.
Well, yeah, there were. I do. I mean, I think that certain groups of people have allowed the hate to fester in themselves for a long time. But I it's fine. That's okay that we can disagree on that. I just disagree with you. I think since 1968 we've made tremendous progress in terms of how people treat other people, especially when it comes to the color of their skin. It is 53 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Go! Let's go! We got seconds left on the show. Jackson, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, Matt Murphy.
That's good. You glad the week is done? I mean, I know you're working on Sunday and all.
Yeah.
You glad the week is done? You excited about tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're going to have a great time, bud.
I think we're going to have a good time as well. We will be live over the course of the weekend on social media platforms. You can find us on the X Machine or on the Facebook as we anticipate the big game tomorrow afternoon at Neyland Stadium. That's Jackson and myself. I appreciate all of you. I really do. It's been a hell of a week. And look, if the week has taught us anything, is that we ought to be able to have conversations, political discourse, sometimes in an aggressive manner or in a robust manner, but at the same time, be friends at the end. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope to talk to you again on Monday.